Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Flyby Buzz. I'm your host, Buzz, in the studio with producer Adam. Once again, Adam, why don't you tell the people out there hello? Actually, you know what? It's probably best if you don't say anything. You can cut off your mic. I'll do this by myself. Why you? Why do you ask? Well, quite frankly, Adam, because anything you're liable to say is probably going to drop the quality of this show. And also, anything you're liable to say will probably also drop the IQ level of anybody listening. Oh, well, you asked, and you got your answer. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about this guy, Adam. See, this whole entire show, the Flyby Buzz, while I may be the host, it is called the Flyby Buzz, of course. Um, it is Adam's idea. Adam was the one that approached me. He said that thanks to my gift of gab, my ability at loquaciousness and verbosity, that I would do a good job at hosting a podcast. And I said to him, what the hell is a podcast? Well, I mean, obviously I had a little bit of idea, but I didn't know really what he was trying to get. I was like, what are we going to talk about? And he said, no, I just want you to talk because you're a good talker. I said, all right, cool. So, we start doing the show, and the very first episode is like this really weird episode where it has me reading a script that he wrote. And I don't know, you can go check it out. It's very, very, very horribly produced, which brings into question Adam's talent. It's not mine. And again, it's his words that I'm reading. But whatever the case is, the first episode is trash. I'm reading a script, and he says, it's best if you just speak off the cuff. So we do the second episode, and the second episode, he feeds me these news stories to read. Now, I haven't read any of these news stories, and I'm just supposed to, react to them in the moment. So he gives them to me, and it turns out to be another horribly produced show. Thank you, producer Adam, because I had no idea what the hell I was talking about before I started talking about it. So I tell Adam, hey, Adam, if we're going to continue to do this thing, we should probably, do a little, preview. You should give me a heads up of what the subjects on the podcast are going to be. That way I can come in more prepared. And he says, okay, but, he was a little bit hesitant because he would like me to be coming off the cuff. And I said, yeah, but, last episode sucked donkey balls. So let's try to get me a little prepared. So he says, okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. And by today, I mean this episode. He said, we're going to talk about this 16-year-old girl that got shot. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, it's all the rage. And I said, all the rage, like a popular song, like a summer blockbuster movie, like a new hit show on Netflix. You're telling me a 16-year-old girl being shot is cool? It's what? And he's like, yeah. And you understand, this is why I don't want Adam speaking, because this is what his mind thinks. And he says to me, yeah, if we talk about it, we're going to get likes. And I'm like, Adam, this is a girl that is dead. And he's like, yeah, but everybody's doing it. We're gonna get likes. We're getting a lot of views. And I'm like thinking, this guy is insane. The road to hell, by Adam's estimation, is paved with good intention, views, and likes. And this is kind of goes into what the first episode of this Flyby Buzz was about. It was about a 13-year-old kid getting killed as well by the police. And I'm thinking, this guy got a hard-on for children getting executed? And he told me the same thing about the 13-year-old kid. It's going to get a lot of likes. You're going to see. People are going to love it. They're going to love it. I'm thinking this guy is deranged. So I'm afraid to let this guy start talking, because he might go off and start talking about, kids in the basement, or, kids getting killed in war zones and all kinds of stuff with children that no one needs to hear and no one needs to be aware of. So I says to him, Adam, no, we're not going to be talking about a 16-year-old getting shot. I don't want to do that kind of show. Thankfully, we did a little, run through before we talked today. Otherwise, I'd be talking to you about the murder of a child, thanks to Adam. So I says to Adam, well, what else do we got, Adam, for the show? And he says, Ellen DeGeneres. And I was like, oh, well, that's That's better. She's funny. People like her. And he says, no, she's a raging bitch. I'm like, Adam, Jesus. Again, this is why I don't like this guy to have a microphone. And thank God he listened to me and turned it off because he's talking to me right now, trying to defend him calling at Ellen DeGeneres a raging bitch. I'll tell you what he said. He says that she treats people on her staff like shit. I don't know. I wasn't there. I know Adam wasn't there. Trust me, I know he wasn't there. There's not many women that will let him around him. And from what he's trying to get me to talk about with children, no one should let their children around him either. Now, Adam, I said, what's going on with Ellen? He said, well, not only is she a raging bitch, again, those are Adam's words. Trust me, people, you do not want to hear this gentleman speak. He says that she might be a pothead. I'm like, that's what's going on, Adam. Like, do we have anything a little bit more exciting? And he says, we got Dennis Rodman in the Hall of Fame, and the mayor of Los Angeles is going to be giving poor people $1,000 a month. And I said, is that it? That's the whole entire. You looked at all the news, and he says, well, he kind of just threw this together before we stepped into the studio to start recording. So that's what I'm working with here, people. That's the kind of producer. So that's what we're working with today as well. As far as subject matter, we got Ellen DeGeneres smoking weed. We got Dennis Rodman going into the Hall of Fame, and we've got universal basic income coming to Los Angeles. Why? Because Adam is lazy and he is the producer and this is what he produces. Now, where should we start? Well, let's start with Dennis Rodman. Now, I'm a sports guy. I like me some sports ball. I like it when they bounce it. I like it when they throw it, and I like it when they hit it with the wood. It's just the things I enjoy, you don't have to think about much. And I remember as a child, I used to watch Dennis Rodman play basketball. He was on my favorite team at the time. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm one of those fair weather bandwagon type fans. I go with whoever is winning. I don't like to be fans of losing teams. And at that time, it was the Chicago Bulls, and Dennis Rodman was a member of the Chicago Bulls. Now, the reason why I watch the Chicago Bulls would probably be like anybody's reason, Michael Jordan. And during this speech that Dennis Rodman gives at a Hall of Fame, see, that's why we're talking about Dennis Rodman. He got accepted into the Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame. Now, the thing about the Basketball Hall of Fame, it's got quite possibly the easiest Hall of Fame to get into. I feel like if you've gotten a cup of coffee in the NBA, maybe, got at least 10 points in a game and 3 assists, you qualify for the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's that simple. The Baseball Hall of Fame, they like to keep, some legends out. Pete Rose, Barry Bonds. In NFL, you've got people like Terrell Owens, who, if I don't know, I don't have the numbers right here in front of me, but Terrell Owens was a wide receiver, and he was like number 2 in all stats for wide receivers, and he was being kept out for years. But in basketball, any bum that's played a little bit of ball in the NBA can get in. I think it's harder to not get into the Basketball Hall of Fame than it is to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame, if you understand me. So anyways, Dennis Rodman's out here giving this speech. He's thanking Michael Jordan. He's thanking Scottie Pippen, Penny Marshall. If you remember Penny Marshall, she directed that movie, what's it called? Driving in Cars with Boys. Check that out for me, producer Adam. Actually, you just do you. Anyways, Penny Marshall, she was a big fan when I was young. She was always there in the Lakers game. No, the Clippers games. That's where she was at. She was at the Clippers games, if I remember correctly. And now she's making a documentary on Dennis Rodman, which, it's got to be an interesting documentary. When you look at Dennis Rodman's life, not just on the basketball court, but outside basketball, it's been quite an interesting ride for this man. I mean, one, basketball speaking, he was with Michael Jordan, who is, obviously a pop icon figure, bigger than basketball. and Dennis Rodman was in that sphere. Then Dennis Rodman was also married to Madonna. I don't know the time frame on that. I think he was married to Madonna before he got with Michael Jordan, but whatever the case, it might have been after. It doesn't really matter. But now he's with this other great popular culture icon, Madonna. And most recently, he's like hanging out with Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un. Apparently, if I remember correctly, he's like flying secret missions into North Korea. So the president of the United States at the time can bring an end to hostilities, even though there's not really physical hostilities, kind of a Cold War going on between North Korea and the United States. But Dennis Rodman, being friends with Kim Jong-un, was able to bring an end to tensions, if you will, if you don't want to call it hostilities, between tensions in North Korea and the United States. Wow. And I mean, what a interesting life that this guy has lived. And his, Hall of Fame speech, he's out there blubbering and he's dressed to the nines. The guy is dressed to the nines. He is stylish. And, he's out there bubbling. And, that's the thing with these Hall of Fame speeches. Not only do these, guys often cry, I'm not going to hold it against them. It's an emotional moment. But they're like these, come to Jesus moments. They're these cathartic, religious, washing away sins type of moments, being baptized in the River Jordan, if you will. I remember when Michael Irvin got up there and, in the NFL Hall of Fame, that was a heck of a speech. And it's not just him. So many of these guys, just lay out their whole entire hearts and it becomes bigger than their careers. And with Dennis Rodman, he's out there talking about how he wishes he was a better father, how he wishes he was a better husband, how he wishes he was a better son. And it's kind of sort of a thing that you would think you would use and you would say in confessional with a priest rather than say as you're getting inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame. But hey, it's his moment, his time to speak. And good on him. Now, let's move on into our next story. Let's see. Let's go with the Los Angeles one. Los Angeles basic income. Yes, the mayor of Los Angeles, I think his name is Garcetti. Is it Eric Garcetti? Yes, Eric Garcetti. He has outlined a $24 million proposal to give $1,000 to over 2,000 families. No questions asked. Just here's $1,000. What you do with it, you do with it. No one's going to come up to you and try to manage your pennies for you. They're just going to drop $1,000 into your bank account every month. That seems pretty cool. Actually, it says here they're going to $1,000 annually. So that's not that much money, actually. I thought it was it's $1,000 a month. Excuse me, I was wrong. $1,000 a month to 2,000 households for an entire year, no question asked. Man, I wish I can get some of that. It doesn't seem fair in a certain way that it only goes to poor people. It helps someone out like producer Adam, who is unemployed and his whole entire plan to get out of poverty is to use my voice as a method and a stepping stone to millions of dollars. Adam, you should get a job like me. But hey, everyone's got their plans. Or you can go to Los Angeles. If you go to Los Angeles, you get $1,000. I think that's a better idea than us trying to make it big on YouTube. To each their own. And last and not least, we got Ellen DeGeneres, who was on Jimmy Kimmel yesterday, and she was saying that she doesn't really like taking the pot, but she has taken the pot. 63 years old, Ellen DeGeneres. Wow. I would never guess. That's that makeup for you. That's that Hollywood makeup. I don't know. I don't think she's on the plastic surgery. Who knows? The Hollywood people, they got all kinds of ways to keep young. Somebody told me, Adam's the one that told me, adrenochrome. I had no idea. Do you guys know what this adrenochrome is? I guess they did it on South Park. According to producer Adam, we probably shouldn't get on this. This is going to get us canceled. I mean, Adam already wanted to get us canceled by talking about dead children. So let's just go. Let's just go all the way. There's a reason why I got this guy's mic cut off. I don't know why I'm telling you what he's saying. I should probably just let him explain it. But if I did, it'd probably become worse. Anyways, the way he tells me, producer Adam, is that there are Hollywood elites that drink human blood. No, children's blood. Is that correct? Yes. Don't turn on your mic. Just tell. Yes. Okay. Thank you. You like that? Yeah. So just nod your head. Children's blood. Yes, they drink children's blood, and they drink this children's blood, and it's supposed to keep them young. Is that what happens? Jeez Louise. I don't know about that. And does Ellen drink the children's blood? She does. You're saying with Tom Hanks. Wow. We're going to get sued for libel. Yeah, that's what producer Adam's saying. I don't know if that's true, but one thing that is true is that Ellen takes the pot. But she says that she doesn't do it all the time. She says she doesn't really like it. I mean, but she said that, she doesn't, people give her the pot in little drinks and in gummy bears. And it's not something that she does on the reg, but it has happened. And at one time that she did it, her girlfriend ended up having to go to the emergency room. Her girlfriend wasn't feeling good. And Ellen, scared for her girlfriend. So she ends up, driving her to the emergency room after she just got done drinking some THC drinks. Do you take the pot, Adam? No, you don't have any money, so that's. But if you did, would you? I'm not gonna let anybody know what he just said to me. Anyway, she drank this one. She drank 3 of them, and to try to go to sleep. I guess she felt like drinking the pot would help her go to sleep. And that's when her girlfriend, Portia Rossi, started having the stomach problems. And Ellen ended up driving her to the emergency room while high on pot. Well, there you have it. If you take the pot, an emergency might happen where you might wish you didn't have taken the pot. So don't take the pot and don't take the adrenochrome either. And I think that's going to do it for us on the Flyby Buzz. And we'll catch you on the next one. Buzz.